pull out here, I think from the light where we turned in to coming out of this parking lot here, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's McCormick Road now. And then we're just gonna keep going. But if you would have turned left at the light, and it would kind of follow this road here, you end up on down the roadways. But that had been Fort Caroline. So now we're going on Wonderwood Expressway. It's a nice little view. This is the Intercoastal Bridge, or A. Finally got me I didn't realize it, but I had some like little things that I could actually mount my little camera to, or the action camera to, so that makes it a lot easier than having to drive and hold it like the previous video I uploaded. So we're at intersection of what is this, Wonderwood Expressway? I don't know if there's a name for it, or Mayport Road, but to the left is the entrance to the naval base. Just keep going straight. Basically dies into Hannah Park. Usually on the weekends it's pretty busy, probably like most places. Alrighty. Let's see, I thought I had a $5 bill, but I don't know if I do or not. There we go.
Okay.
There you go.
How much?
See, I was thinking about you before I came in.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Have a good
You
day.
too. So I think it's around 9 o'clock in the morning. Not a lot of people here yet, but I feel like they usually start really showing up around 10. Back then, I'm not sure it was a good idea because there was that palm tree there, but you can see it's been a while since I rode. Although I feel like these tubeless tires are always going flat pretty quick, or losing air. So good morning. We're here at Hannah Park now, fixing to ride. It's been a long time since I've ridden backing into this spot. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not, but I don't even know if that thing's charged up. Probably should have tried it. Take out the brake lock, get this thing ready to roll. Yeah. Of course, I don't have my tripod, my thing for my tripod, so I'm kind of like trying to do this handheld. So, what is today? I think it is today. It's hard to do one-handed. Make sure that's snug, but sometimes that thing comes loose on me. Throw that over there in the corner. Get the bike out. See if that's charged. So the Garmin is not charged up. That's what happens when you take some time off, so I guess we're not using that today. But got the Cervelo, riding the XC bike today. Some cross-country trails. A few people here. Most of them will probably show up around 10 o'clock or so. Other than that, I'll get ready to roll out of here. Oh, also, hopefully my derailleur thing is charged up. I haven't checked that in a long time, but usually that thing stays charged for quite a while. But it's been, I don't know how many months since I checked that last. Probably since I went down to Moses Creek last, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you out on the trail. Oh man. Let's see if they got the morning.
Hey, good morning.
Howdy. See if they got the all the spider webs and stuff cleared on the trails. So when we come out here, let's see, today is Sunday, so looks like Sunday, Monday, Wednesday we could follow the Z trail loop this way. So that's my favorite way to go, is counterclockwise, I guess it is. There's South Loop. I like the Z trail. We'll see how this goes. I've ridden in a long time, so, or at least not like this anyways. Get back. I'm hoping this will get me back into it. This part's kind of creepy. I always feel like there's going to be a gator around the corner on the bank. Or if you wipe out and go into the water, that would suck too. Ooh, leaves are a little bit slippery. But a little bit of a tight corner. Whoa, leaves are slippery.
Feel like I'm riding on ice sometimes around these corners. Ooh, they got a trail work day. It was yesterday or today out here. Might be the reason why there ain't that many people riding. People will enjoy riding these things, but they don't want to lend a hand. And they don't realize either that the more people you got working on the trail, the quicker it'll get done. And less, fewer people would have to do. But, whoa, geez. I don't know if I've ever ridden out here with it so slippery. Yeah. Holy shit. Already tired. So, I have a little kind of dilemma I'm trying to figure out. So, I'm the trail boss for the cross country section at Tilly, and then we have another guy that's in charge of the jump line. But recently, we ended up getting some machines, Sorba's machines from Trek Trails over there, because we had to close Trek Trails for a little bit. So we started working over there getting the pump track done, and got started working on the big jump line. I figured, let's try and take advantage of the machines while we got out there. We didn't really have time to mess around and whatever, so I had over in the big jump line area, there's this area called the pit, and I don't think my battery's working for my thing, for my shifter. So anyways, I had a tentative approval from somebody at the park and water management to make a jump line in the pit, going kind of following the big jump line, the old big jump line. So started working on that, and there's a miscommunication that the higher ups in the local chapter of Sorba didn't realize, and sent a text saying, we weren't supposed to go past the big pine tree, and we need to flatten it out, kind of clean the place up, because obviously anybody knows during the construction period it's not the best looking, not to mention everything hasn't grown back yet, and so it's like you could see a lot more of the area through the trees and stuff. So anyway, so we had to flatten that and then not go past that tree. And I texted them back and I was like, hey, you know, I had tentative approval from so-and-so that I could do that because it was all full of overgrown bushes and stuff when we walked it. And I'm like, well, you know, I mean, if there's no, you know, I mean, that'd be a pain to get through, try to get through there, cut my way, and then do all that work to get disapproved or whatever. So I was like, well, they were like looking around. I'm like, what you looking for? And she goes, an eagle's nest. Like, an eagle's nest? I ain't never seen an eagle out here. We had an owl that came out when we were cleaning I think it was last fall or last summer. And we ended up naming it Tilly, but every day consistently for like 4 or 5 days, the owl would come out and land on a branch and just hang out for a while. It was kind of cool. So we named it Tilly, or Ray ended up naming it Tilly. So, why aren't you helping on the trail? Why aren't you helping on the trail?
I wish I had something to feed him. Maybe he becomes up.
Give him your finger. He'll eat your finger.
No thanks.
That thing is huge. He's pretty sweet.
Pretty, huh?
Thing's big, man. He's got to be at least maybe 1.5 feet tall or something. Badass. Anyway, so I was sharing my text messages with the group, including the guy that was helping build these jumps and stuff, which he was like mainly the, you know, he was the main builder and machine operator and all that. So we built all these and got that text message that I was sharing talking about clearing that thing. So the guy already working at Trek Trails before he came over to Tilly was working over there, and there's been a few times where he's working on something and his stuff got flattened out, and I don't think, my best of my knowledge, I don't know if he was ever like, fuck man, he was you gotta love him, these freaking so they tore down his stuff and didn't give him like a explanation, that doesn't seem like. So he was over at Tilly when I was sharing these text messages with, you know, the Tilly Boss group and Ray. He said, yeah, we had to flatten those out. So the guy got mad and he's like, you know, when it started, he's like, well, I'm gonna just tear it all out. And we're like, no, don't do it. But then we got a text back, or I got a text back saying, oh, well, if you got a tentative approval or whatever, you know, it's okay, but did you get it in writing? And I was like, of course not, because at the time we were walking out on the, you know, out there at Tilly, getting my new trail approved or finalized, and we walked over there, so it was kind of like a last minute thing. And so I guess anyway, so we were like, well, don't do nothing. And so, you know, without him waiting, he went back in through there and tore everything out. And just big old piles of dirt now, random. And so, of course, the next day I'm getting text messages. The whatchamacallit, the president of Sorba had some friends coming up from Palm Coast, and they were texting him saying, hey, what's going on with these jumps and stuff? I drove all the way up here. And so the cool thing is with the pump track and these jumps coming in is I've been out there probably about a year now, and during this whole time until we started building all this stuff and getting everybody excited, you know, you never saw BMXers or nothing. So BMXers started showing up out there to ride and stuff, and I was like, oh cool, you know, we're starting to gain excitement about the park again. Maybe we could do another jump day, but more of a formal one. And so needless to say, everything got tore down and whatever, so of course I took some heat from all that, but I'm like, dude, I was talking to him and he was like, well, if you can't follow the rules, you know, I'm like, man, dude, I'm not just gonna go out there and clear trails and shit on these same trails. I want to add some cool stuff and make this park awesome, kind of like you see on some of these videos, you know, these people traveling and checking these parks out. And he's like, oh, you'll never get that over there, that'll never happen. I'm like, yeah, not with a fucking attitude like that. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't argue. So anyway, my dilemma is, do I want to help get that jump line back up? Because the other deal is with the jump line is the guy that's in charge of that area, oh, he's wanting dirt jumper this and dirt jumper that, and I'm like, dude, at least make some of this stuff for everybody, not just freaking big ass jumps, and you guys never even ride over here anyway, really, which is my other issue. So anyway, I'm not sure, you know, work's picking up now, so do I want to like go back out there and spend all that time working, clearing these trails and going through the hassle trying to get stuff approved, or do I just want to ride and have fun? And then I can always volunteer to help out on trail work days. Then I'm not committed, because before, at Tilly, I never really asked for help. You know, I just like, for me, just seeing people out there riding and enjoying my fruits of my labor is, you know, it's good for me, but I don't know. Don't know what to do. So I do have one trail approved, so kind of thinking maybe I should at least get that done, which I think will be pretty cool. Get that done and then give it a name, so I can at least leave having something that I given a name, a trail name. I have a lot of plans, a lot of cool ideas out there, but I don't know, there's only so much you can do between, you know, like all the politics and stuff. And my issue is too, another thing is what was I gonna say? Shit. Brain fart. I don't know. I can't remember what the hell I was gonna talk about, but another thing that's kind of a pain is trying to find funding. I mean, this is the day, time, and whatever that, howdy. I think you guys might be going the wrong way.
What's that?
I think you might be going the wrong way.
We went in entrance.
Yeah, did you see where it says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Or...
Oh, I didn't see
Yeah, so Sunday, like 4 days out of the week it goes this way, and the other 3 days it goes that way. Just, I mean, if you go that way, just be careful because you might run into other riders. But I recommend turning around. But yeah, when I first rode out here a while back, I didn't realize that either until somebody pointed it out. So, and also you're supposed to have helmets on too. Alrighty. So anyway, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the trail when you know, you kind of watch, because these certain days these trails run certain ways. A lot of new people don't realize that. I wish, like, if really what needs to happen, I don't know, maybe at the you know, at the place where you come in to pay to get in, you know, they you know, give you a little pamphlet or whatever and explain some of these important tips or whatever, you know, or have them on the pamphlet and tell them to read, you know, these certain, you know, the beginning where they got certain. So there's the campground, and then the Z Trail. See this where it says Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, go this way. On those, on Wednesday, no, on Tuesday, Thursday, and whatever day, what would that be? Saturday, you go the opposite way. So anyway, hopefully maybe that'll help out somebody that's getting into mountain biking that wants to come out here. So I guess no matter where you go, one of the first things you should find out is, you know, if it's two-way or one-way, you know, what way the trails flow. But that could have been bad, like, especially they aren't wearing helmets either. So they're like riding through here going the wrong way. If somebody's cruising through here, come around the corner and don't see them and collide into them, you know, get hurt. So anyway, can't remember where I was at besides the finance thing of it, but so anyway, and so like at the end of the text message too, they're like, hey, we're trying to get some pricing and stuff for your the pump track you guys built, because it's running awesome. You know, my thing is like I always say is, man, less maintenance the better, because let's see, where's the so less maintenance the better. And then you know, so like trying to find some kind of topping or whatever for that trail or whatever, you know, it'd be nice. So they're like, well, we're looking into pricing for like whatever that stuff they use on BMX tracks, I forget what it's called, that, or do some carpet or whatever. So that was pretty cool. So I was like, hey man, these guys are, you know, the president and the overall trail boss, you know, they're actually kind of starting to lend a hand, or, you know, kind of gain interest in what's going on out there. And so anyway, so needless to say, everything got tore down, and I don't know, at first I was like, well, we'll just rebuild, you know, but I don't know, man. I'm like, do I really want to spend all that time out there trying to maintain that place and do all that, or do I want to enjoy riding like everybody else, or what? So Beach is that way if you ever come out here and want to go to the beach. But there's several entrances to it. So get you back on the Z Trail. Double checking your daily whatever route or whatever you want to call it, way you gotta go. So somewhere up here oh, that's new. Must have took out a bridge. That kind of sucks. I hate the fact they take these bridges out. Or I should say, in quotes, what do they call them? Boardwalks. So, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of still pondering it, but the president's like, from here on out, you're like, your only thing you can do, basically without approval or whatever, is you know, just clear the trails. And I'm like, man, screw that. So I don't know. Anyway, that's about my rant. What would you guys do? That, I don't know. I mean, there's just so much to it, but anyway, I'll just keep continuing on. Ah, shit, much. Sometimes I hit some of the bumps and I have or those roots and not have enough momentum, and they almost like stop you dead in your tracks, and you kind of like fall forward on your bike or whatever. I know there's like a new route to the Z Trail up here somewhere, but of course my battery's freaking dead. My chain derailer. Here it is, new trail. You come down here, you can see new trail, old trail, shortcut. I haven't been this way since in a while. See how it's rode in, but not being able to shift may make it kind of hard. One thing about this new area, at least when I last rode it, I felt like it was definitely a challenging little section. Another thing was, you know, talking to the Sorba boss, president, local chapter. He, when we were talking, at one point he was like, yeah, you know what? You can be the president and listen to everybody complain in 3 counties and, you know, this and that, and deal with whatever, and deal with whatever, and I'll be a trail boss. I'll take care of your job any day. I was so tempted to say, okay, got a deal, brother, but I didn't. So woo, pedal hard. too hard though, because I don't want to break my chain. It's kind of fun riding through here because you'll see like roads and stuff and campers and stuff like that. There's these trails. I always try to figure out where you're at. Like, okay, where am I at on this trail? Tight fit. Somewhere in here there's like a spot where you come up, you come down, and you feel like at first, when it first was built, you're gonna nosedive once you hit the bottom. And then I rode it again later. This might be it right here. Yeah. So this here, you can kind of see where it's like really skinny area. So you got this root down here. Whatever, but this used to be like, root wasn't visible. And it came out, but all the sand has been pushed down. But whenever you came down, it was like you'd hit that, and then it would go straight up again. And you're like, oh shit. Just hope for the best. So just hope for the, yeah. But that's the most, like, to me, the most challenging part of this trail. Not as bad as it was, but still having to maneuver off of that little hill between those two trees. You definitely want to be careful. I forgot to look to see if the trees had like handlebar marks and stuff. I remember coming out when I first joined the Navy, which actually Mayport's like right around the corner here, where I was stationed. It's like probably less than, well, it is less than a mile to the main gate. But I come out here and I remember seeing things about mountain biking back then, which is like, shit, I don't know, 20 years ago. And I used to think, dang man, how the hell do these guys ride these trails around here in the, you know, in the sand and everything. But I guess, now that I'm riding them, I'm like, okay. So they had leaves and stuff and different things that kind of compacted the trails and whatever. So I think we're coming up to the end of this new extension, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So this is like probably one of the most popular trails in Jacksonville. Trail systems, I should say. It's Hannah Park. And then Trek Trails was gaining a lot of popularity because, you know, it was like the closest you could get to a what do you call it, hill, downhill riding or whatever. But and then I was like, well shoot man, I want to make chili. People like, well, make chili on the map more than what it is. A lot of people like it because it's in trees like this, which Trek Trails isn't, mostly open. So during the summer, it gets pretty hot. But not only that, it's versatile. You know, you got the cross country, got the jumps, so it's kind of fun to ride. And then it's got like a little skill area. So what kind of trails you guys got around your houses or places you like to go? Ooh, that was probably a good idea. Not enough speed. So any of you guys out there trail bosses? Would you like to be interested in being a trail boss? I could do a video on that. I strongly recommend doing it for a little while. You know, it's kind of nice. I mean, even if you're just clearing trails, you know, and you see kids and families and people riding, and then you get outside, it gives you something to do, especially like on the computer all the time or whatever. Indoors, being out in nature is kind of nice, listening to birds and stuff like that. Or if you got somebody that's helping you put together a team or something. But after what went through with me, being a new trail boss and the Sorba Jacks president, like having concerns about me doing it without having any knowledge on how things worked. I don't want to go too fast around there with all them leaves. Yeah, if you guys notice, I like to ramble a lot. I'm still on Z Trail. I don't remember how long it is. If you follow the whole Z Trail loop, I want to say it's 5 miles, somewhere in there. Maybe it's 3 something. I can't remember. Also, if you guys are getting new into riding, joining Sorba Jacks is a good way to help support trails and everything. It's like $40 a year, I think. I think my renewal's coming up. But all that money they use for, you know, trail maintenance, you know, or whatever, you know, or if they're building new trails or whatever. So make it easier. So, woo. Doing better than I thought I would. Not as bad as I was when I first started a year ago, even if I took so much time off. Once you first get started riding, you really notice your legs like freaking so sore. Sometimes you're riding so much that you can't even like hardly stand. Your muscles get worked out so much. But somebody told me one time, like, oh yeah, that goes away, and I couldn't imagine it at the time, but he was right. So now it's more about cardio. You wouldn't think riding a mountain bike would be that hard, like that, what do you call it? Demanding versus like running, but I feel like it's worse than running. Holy crap, man. There, my legs are burning. Thank you for downhills. I like the little bridges, but sometimes it can be scary, especially when they're wet. Watch out, little squirrel. I always like talking to the squirrels. They're funny. Get out of the way. All right, this one, I had my, whatchamacallit, if I could gear down, I'd ride up this, but usually I walk across this thing. And I don't think I'm gonna show off in this one and then watch myself tumble down. So as you come across, you can see that big thing there. If you come around the outside as much as you can, come around the outside as much as you can, get a little speed and kind of hop that a little. It's pretty easy. I don't know about going that way now. Going straight, yes, but I don't know if you can hop that thing and go at an angle, but it looks like the out portion's a little sketchy, but it can be done. So anyway, what kind of obstacles do you guys like on the trails? I like most things are a little challenging, but nothing I feel like it's going to kill me. I like flowy, nice flowy trails. Little drops or whatever. Uphill, one thing I don't like the most are the roots. They're kind of annoying. Another bridge. What don't you guys like on the trail? I used to think when I was riding almost daily, I think here we are at the exit. Woo! So making a right will take us back to the parking lot heading straight across is where we started. I'll take you guys this way to the left. I did here years ago. I started doing photography, getting into that deal, along with the cinematography stuff. Came out here, used to take pictures of the turtles and the birds, and saw alligator one time. Nothing like seeing an alligator when you don't have nothing between you and the pond and you're fairly close to it, and then just cruising along. But so yeah, this is the pond up here where the gator and stuff was. It's a nice little spot here. I like picnic areas and stuff, so if you come out here to ride, I got some, you know, picnic areas, and I'll show you where the kids play area, and they got a little water park thing that's cool. Usually over in here, you got turtles and stuff hanging out up on these logs and stuff, and birds up on the thing in that little island. You used to be able to go across to the other side, but they blocked it off. I don't know, I think you can probably go foot traffic there. The gator I saw was that way, right next to the road, which I'll show you in a little bit. But yep. So we'll go this, keep going this way. Kind of cool if I saw a gator today. But this is another vantage point of what we were just looking at. So there's that log and stuff there. These things sticking out. One thing I like about riding too, getting out in nature, seeing the wild animals. Even if you've seen them in a zoo or something, there's nothing like catching something out in the wild, you know. Experiencing it in the wild is cool. So, this way and over to the, it's one way, you'd have to actually go right, but make this loop around this parking lot. But here's the kids area, bunch of picnics area. I'll walk my bike in this area. Probably a little later, this place will be packed. Maybe after church. Not sure what time it is. Now here's another big lake where the gator, got gators in. There's that big white bird. I don't know if you caught that or not. I don't know. A bobber's sitting up there in there. There's that bird flying around. Nice and quiet out here. Here's something out here. It sounds weird. I think I saw a fish just jump out of the water. Usually don't catch them until they're splashing back in. You can see all those birds over there hanging out in that little area. And there's some over here. Of course, this camera doesn't zoom in. Somebody's fishing poles. I hear something weird, not like in the water. It's like boop, 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 boop. I don't know if you guys can catch that. Hopefully you can. See all these birds over here hanging out. A lot of the, I don't know what these are. I don't think they're a crane. I need to get me like a Birds of Florida or something book and learn these birds. Get me some binoculars and do some bird watching. Or get a long lens for my camera. But that's a lot more money. I used to do that photography stuff, man. I like have all these pictures. And just never knew what to do with them. Like they're all just sitting on the hard drive or whatever. So, I don't know. I thought possibly maybe making one of those books with Lightroom, do the book and get it printed, do some writing, and maybe do like a, what do you call that, a thing where you do a daily, what happens in your life in the daily whatever. I guess you can rent these little boat things. That's kind of cool. Kayaks, drinks. I've never seen this thing open. I don't know if they still use that thing or not, or what. But this is the water park over here. See the water park, kids area to play. And then way back over there, they have bathrooms. Here's seagulls. And I don't know what that blackbird was. It's not a crow. I forget what they're called. So, that one thing, man. That ride felt good. If you're ever tired or not motivated or something, you got a bike, even just a bike you can ride on the road, just, you know, go somewhere. Go for a decent little bike ride. You feel so much better when you're done. Especially if you're like in a funk, your life's in a funk or whatever. I used to like running. That's what I would do to relieve stress. But my knee was messed up. Probably since I was like maybe like 19. I started running one time, getting ready to get in the Navy when I went in to go into boot camp, and did something to my knee and it hurt really bad, and it took a while for it. I couldn't even, at the time I had a little Tacoma, I couldn't even push in the clutch. It hurt so bad. So ever since then I've always had issues. This is kind of scary for me. See, it's this long little skinny area. I think the good thing is it's a little steep for gators to be like, you know, like bathing on it or whatever, but still kind of scary. A lot of erosion on this thing. I don't remember how wide it was before. I feel like this thing had like all kinds of trees and shrubs and stuff on it, and you couldn't come out here. But pretty cool. I also, something I enjoy doing along with the movie stuff and whatever, is I like to write. Mainly horror stories, but I don't like whatever inspires me, you know. I like everything. You know, hell, I'd even try a romance novel if it inspired me. But this would be a nice little place to just come out here and on a nice day when it wasn't too hot, sit on this little rock thing, laptop in your lap and write or whatever. So anyway, that's the look of the campgrounds over there. I don't know if you can see it. And then over there they got some picnic tables and whatever those things are, where underneath the all those picnic tables underneath the shelter things. And then way over on the other side where the beach follows over there, they got some more like little roads or whatever with some more of those little, I don't know what the hell they're called, gazebos or whatever they're called. So I think you gotta like put those on reservation if you want to use. Well, I don't know about these, maybe these, or you could use it and then if somebody has it reserved and shows up, you might have to move, but that's probably what I would assume. But if you got like a family thing going on or whatever, probably getting them reserved is what you got to do to be on the safe side. Man, there's a lot of erosion. I bet this little island thing won't be here much longer. It's just kind of disappointing. It's a neat little thing to go out on. Howdy, how are you? So, there's a bathroom straight ahead. I think, what else do I want to show you? I guess, I don't know. Maybe I should go back to the parking slot. So I think I know like they have the south loop that goes through this side, the Z loop, and then on the other side of the roadway as you come in from where we park toward the back of us, the Jeep or whatever. On the other side there's another road like that leads out because it's one way, and on that side there's a E trail, I think it's called, which is pretty fun. And there's Joe's something, another little trail way at the end. I think get to it off of like South Loop, and I think Z Loop you could probably come out at one point, but I know South Loop, and then you just basically go there and back. It's not a loop. So anyway, bird down there. So, I guess, let me see, which way do we want to go? Let's go back. So, oh man, let's definitely go back. My tire's going flat on me. Fuck, I had that issue once before. Fuck, man. Arg. And last time I went flat on me, I had like a little tiny little piece of wire that I collected off the main road or whatever. And that sucks, man. That's one reason why I need to start taking my little fanny pack with the water bag in it, or just take the water bag out and put my little pump in there instead. It sucks. How y'all doing? So, let's see. I feel like I was at Trek Trails riding one time and tire went flat on me, but I think all I did is aired it up and it worked good. And this time I don't know if I like ran something over and got a slow leak, or if I got another one of those times where I just need to re-air it back up. I do have the, what do you call it, tubeless, but I haven't changed out any of the sealant, and like since I got it done, it's been probably close to a year now. And then one of my videos we were talking about how we were down at Moses Creek and we were talking about these tubeless tires and the stuff you put into them. And I didn't realize you had to change it out every 6 months. I thought they lasted, or the fluid they stick in lasted a what do you call it? A year. I guess it doesn't. It's like every 6 months, but I don't know. I don't think that's the issue with this tire. I think it just needs to be aired back up again. I don't know what people going surfing here. I'm not sure. So anyway, they got some bathrooms here, as you can see. A little picnic area here. And then a bike wash. Bike wash is cool. I wanted to get one of those at Tilly. You're supposed to have like a lady from the park or whatever asked me if I needed a Boy Eagle Scout or whatever, to Boy Scout to need a project, and I was going to have them work on that bike wash, but never heard from anybody. So. But anyway, as you can see, I'm kind of walking across here through that parking lot to the other side. This is the exit, way for the exit to get out of the park here. I didn't realize, I rode here for a while and didn't realize this trail was over here. This is kind of the reason why I want to point it out. But this here is another area where you can park if it's like the main area we just walked through was full. That you come on through here, and then you got E-line trail here. E-line trail. This is a fun trail to go down. But you can see it's 3.5 miles depending on, and then of course you got your days depending on what day it is. You either go left or right. So that's pretty fun, but I don't really know how to do that today because this video, either that, if I did, I'd probably like separate that on the video. And then of course we got a cowbell here. Walk back to the parking lot, and then load up the bike for the day. And if we're lucky, I might edit this video at some point. Because like I'll usually do is I'll record these things and I won't go on there and edit them, and they'll just sit on the hard drive or whatever. I'll get discouraged of the crappy footage or whatever, but I realize it's like something you got to keep doing to get used to. It's not like film, you know, where you kind of got everything planned and whatever. It's a different type of filming with a different type of camera, you know. It's the wide angle lens and all that good stuff. So at some point I got like this little Neo 2, I think, drone. What about that thing? I didn't even touch that. So at some point I'd like to get that and try to figure that thing out. Maybe improve the footage that way too. The problem is, I guess I'd probably have to get like some kind of backpack or something, because you can carry all that crap with you. Girl's got to live. Alrighty, well, I guess we're back at the Jeep. Back at the Jeep. Get everything loaded up. Dang, dude. I can get like freaking a little closer. Woo! I don't even know why I'd take my water bottle with me. I don't never drink it hardly ever. one thing about me too, most people don't like to ride when it's hot and the heat and all, but I can't stand riding or being out in the cold. I don't want to move, so I love the heat. I always tell everybody I should have been a reptile or something, man. But here you can see, hopefully, there's a trail map for hiking and bike trails, I think. Let's see, there's the green trail. I don't know, I'm probably been on the green trail, but I don't ever remember really riding the green trail. I've always done Z trail and the South Loop, I think is what that is. And then I don't see Joe on here anywhere. Maybe the brown. I don't know if the brown trail there is like the hiking trail. Where's the legend at? Oh yeah, the hiking loop is the brown one. Scout trail, green trail, it's a Z trail. So I guess I have been on that one. Little Joe, the one I was talking about, is over here. So you have to take the South Loop trail, which is the red, and it brings you out over here by the parking lot, and then you ride the parking lot over, ride down, and then come back. And at some point they were talking about doing a pump track over there, and I think it's still talk about it, but I've heard they changed their mind, not going to do it. Then I've heard they're still doing it, so I don't really know. And then actually what they want to do is where we're at, this parking lot, they actually want to make the mountain biking parking over there too at some point, I think, but just to get us out of this area here, which kind of sucks because I like this for security purposes. I feel like my stuff's a lot safer, but plus, I mean, shoot, man, if you're here, you got all these trails here, like within this area. This must be Eline, the Eline trail. So anyway, that is it. And then of course they got black, blue, and green, which anywhere else the blue would be a green, black would probably be a blue. Anyway, so guess that's gonna be it for this. Nice bike over there, it looks like a Yeti or something like that, I think. How you doing?
Alright, how you?
All right. Anyway, I think that's, let me see here. I think that's gonna be it for this. Looks like this hour and 5 minutes of footage on that ride, so I think we'll go ahead and call this one good, and catch another ride maybe tomorrow. I don't know, depends on. See, there's the bike wash, which is kind of nice because when you're out here riding. How you doing? Doing all right? I'm just showing everybody the bike wash.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something to say.
Nah, I would say keep on cleaning. But anyways, so a lot of times you ride out here, I don't know if you can see this, but before I leave out of here, my legs get dirty and stuff from riding. So I'll pack up the bike and stuff, and I'll go back over to that bike wash and wash my legs off because I brought my flip-flops with me. And then I guess that's it. I don't know. Dude's got him oh, I forgot to tell you, out here you also can ride e-bikes, e-mountain bikes, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, chat with y'all later.